In a dramatic shift that has shocked the diplomatic community, the U.S. State Department has begun firing more than 1,350 domestic employees as part of a sweeping overhaul directed by President Donald Trump. The move, which affects both civil and foreign service officers, marks one of the largest shakeups in the department's history. An internal memo stated that the department is streamlining domestic operations to focus on diplomatic priorities. The reductions are said to target non-core functions, overlapping offices, and areas where efficiencies could be gained. According to officials, nearly 3,000 total staff will be cut when including voluntary departures, out of a total 18,000 U.S.-based employees. The cuts impact 1,107 civil service workers and 246 foreign service officers, as the administration pushes to reshape U.S. foreign policy under the America First agenda. But critics say the decision could dangerously weaken America's influence abroad. Former diplomats and national security experts argue that gutting experienced foreign service staff at a time of heightened global instability, such as Russia's war in Ukraine, the ongoing Gaza crisis, and tensions between Israel and Iran, will hurt the U.S. ability to lead on the world stage. Democratic Senator Tim Kaine from Virginia didn't hold back. In a public statement, he said, "President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio are once again making America less safe and less secure." He called the decision one of the most ridiculous moves possible during a time of growing geopolitical threats from countries like China and Russia. Outside the State Department headquarters in Washington, dozens of employees gathered for an emotional clap-out ceremony, cheering and crying as their colleagues carried out their belongings in cardboard boxes. Some held banners that read, "Thank you, America's Diplomats." Senator Chris Van Hollen even attended to show support. Inside, temporary offices were set up for laid-off workers to return badges, laptops, and other government-issued items. Posters marked Transition Day Out Processing hung from the walls, and one desk was labeled Out Processing Service Center, stocked with tissues and bottled water. A 5-page separation checklist instructed employees that their building and email access would end by 5 p.m. that same day. This massive layoff comes after President Trump instructed Secretary of State Rubio earlier this year to revamp the Foreign Service to ensure that his foreign policy is faithfully implemented. He also vowed to clean out the deep state and fire officials deemed disloyal. This effort is part of a broader plan to shrink the federal government and eliminate what Trump calls wasteful spending. As part of that vision, the administration already dismantled the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, and folded it under the State Department, stripping away billions in independent aid funding. In April, Rubio said the State Department had become bloated and bureaucratic, and needed restructuring to keep up with what he called a new era of great power competition. His proposal would eliminate roles such as the top official for civilian security, democracy, and human rights, and close certain offices that monitor war crimes and global conflicts, offices critics say are vital to America's credibility abroad. The American Foreign Service Association, which represents U.S. diplomats, responded with deep concern. This sends the wrong signal to allies and adversaries alike that the United States is pulling back from the world stage, the association said in a statement. As allies look to the U.S. for reassurance and rivals test for weakness, the administration has chosen to sideline the very professionals best equipped to navigate this moment. The reorganization was originally expected to be completed by July 1st, but was delayed due to court challenges. However, just this week, the U.S. Supreme Court cleared the way for the administration to move forward with the cuts. Now, the White House Counsel and the Office of Personnel Management are working closely with agencies to ensure the downsizing complies with the law. While supporters say the restructuring is long overdue, opponents warn that gutting America's diplomatic corps during a time of global crisis is a dangerous gamble. Comment your thoughts.